Hi, welcome back, folks. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Update. Now, let's get to the show. I've been thinking a lot lately about what it means to have real control over your own resources in this interconnected world we live in. It's one of those ideas that sneaks up on you when you're paying bills or sending money to a friend across the country or even across the ocean. Well, what if there was a way to handle value, to move it around without having to rely on some big institution that could decide on a whim whether your transaction goes through? That's the kind of question that gets me curious because it touches on something fundamental about freedom and trust in our daily lives. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a system where no single person, no government, no corporation holds the reins. That's the essence of Bitcoin. It's like a digital fortress, umutge, built on a foundation that anyone can inspect and participate in. At its core, it's powered by this thing called a blockchain, which is essentially a public ledger. Picture a giant shared notebook where every entry is visible to everyone involved, and it's updated in real time by a network of computers all over the world. You don't need a bank to verify if the money's good. The system does it collectively. It's accessible to anyone with a computer and an internet connection, which means you can send value across borders without filling out forms or waiting for approval. It's not just about convenience, though that's a big part of it. It's about shifting power away from centralized gatekeepers. Think about cash for a second. That crumpled bill in your wallet, you hand it over and the deal's done. No questions asked, no third party peeking in. Bitcoin takes that simplicity and extends it into the digital space. It's like cash that lives online, but with the added layer of being borderless and open. You create an address, kind of like an email for your money, and funds can flow in without anyone demanding your life story, your credit score, or your passport. It's inclusive in a way that mirrors how the internet opened up information to the masses. Well, remember when knowledge was locked away in libraries or controlled by a few media outlets? The web changed that. I changed that, making it universal. Bitcoin does something similar for money, turning it from an elite-controlled resource into something anyone can tap into. Now, I wouldn't be straight with you if I said it's all smooth sailing. Bitcoin isn't perfect, far from it. Its value bounces around like a rubber ball, and not every store or service accepts it yet. It's a bit like email back in the 90s. Clunky, not always reliable, and you had to explain it to people who thought it was a fad. But here's the thing. Perfection isn't the goal. It's progress. The real breakthrough, though, is that it works without those trusted middlemen. From a computer science standpoint, that's nothing short of remarkable. It's a system that verifies transactions through math and consensus, not through some authority figure. Over time, just like with email or the early internet, people will build on it, refine it, make it more stable and user-friendly. Adoption will grow as folks see the everyday benefits, like sending remittances to family abroad without hefty fees eating into what you're trying to help with. And speaking of vulnerabilities, let's talk about why this matters in the real world. We've all heard the stories, massive data breaches where hackers walk away with millions of personal records, or fraudulent transfers that drain accounts before anyone notices. These aren't just bad luck. They're symptoms of centralized systems. When everything funnels through a single point, a bank, a server, a corporation, that's a weak spot waiting to be exploited. Bitcoin flips the script by distributing the power. No one entity controls the whole thing, so there's no single key to steal or corrupt. It's like building a house with multiple doors instead of one flimsy lock. If one part gets compromised, the system keeps running because it's spread out across thousands of nodes. That resilience isn't abstract. It could mean the difference between your savings being safe during a cyber attack or watching them vanish because some central database failed. I find it fascinating to compare this to how we've structured other parts of our lives. Take the internet itself. It's thrived because it's built on public protocols, not locked down by a handful of companies. Sure, big players have emerged, but the foundation allows for competition and innovation. If we relied solely on private giants for everything from payments to data storage, breakdowns become catastrophic. We've seen it we've seen it with credit bureaus and getting hacked, exposing sensitive info, or even smart devices in our homes turning into backdoors for intruders. A decentralized approach, like what Bitcoin pioneers, invites more voices into the mix. It's like opening up broadcasting to anyone with a microphone rather than just a few networks. That diversity strengthens the whole ecosystem, making it harder for any one failure to bring everything down. And in our everyday lives, that translates to more secure ways to pay for groceries, invest in ideas, or even support causes we care about without intermediaries skimming off the top or blocking the flow. Of course, for something like this to really take off, the environment has to support it. Policies that encourage innovation, things like clear rules for development, incentives for secure tech, can make a huge difference. It's about fostering growth in blockchain and similar technologies right here at home, so the benefits ripple out to everyone. Enhanced security, more efficient exchanges, even new ways to handle value in global trade. Bitcoin isn't the end game, it's a starting point. It points toward decentralizing other infrastructures, from energy grids to supply chains, creating systems that are more robust and fair. Imagine a world where your effort or performance, the hours you put in at work, the ideas you create, can be stored and transferred without borders or biases. That's powerful, especially in a digital age where connections span the globe. At the heart of it, Bitcoin captures something timeless. The value of your time and resources is preserved in a form that's open and enduring. It's a tool for personal agency, reminding us that the best systems often emerge when they're designed for everyone, not just the few. In a way, it's a nod to the ingenuity of human creation, building something that withstands corruption and empowers individuals. Whether you're a small business owner sending payments overseas or just someone saving for the future, this kind of innovation makes you stop and appreciate how far we've come and where we might go next. Let me dive a bit deeper into that idea of financial freedom, because it's not just a buzzword. It's something that affects how we live day to day. Picture this. You're a freelancer in a small town working with clients from all over the world. In the old system, getting paid means navigating currency exchanges, bank fees, and sometimes delays that could stretch into weeks. With Bitcoin, that value moves instantly or close to it without those hurdles. It's not about getting rich quick, though some chase that. It's about efficiency and control. You decide when and how to move your earnings without a middleman taking a cut or questioning your motives. And consider the global angle. For families separated by borders, sending money home is a lifeline. Traditional wires can eat up 10% or more in fees, which is money that could go toward food, education, or healthcare. Bitcoin cuts that down dramatically, putting more power in the hands of the people who need it. It's inclusive, reaching places where banks might not even exist. That kind of accessibility sparks curiosity in me. How might this evolve to help entrepreneurs in developing regions bootstrap their ideas without begging for loans from institutions that might turn them away? Of course, volatility is a real concern. Prices swing, and that can feel like a roller coaster. But think about gold or stocks. They fluctuate too. The key is understanding it as a store of value over the long term, much like how people have used precious metals for centuries. Bitcoin's fixed supply, there will only ever be 21 million, adds to that appeal, creating scarcity in a digital form. It's not immune to market moods, but as more people and businesses get involved, that stability could build, just like how early stock markets were Wild West affairs before regulations and broader participation smoothed them out. From a tech perspective, the blockchain underpinning it is a marvel. It's not just for money, it's a way to record anything transparently. Artists are using it for NFTs to prove ownership of digital work. Supply chains track goods from farm to table without faking records. And even voting systems are exploring it for tamper-proof elections. That versatility excites me. It's like inventing the wheel and then realizing it can power cars, bikes, and more. But back to finance. By removing single points of failure, it addresses real-world pains. Remember the 2008 financial crisis? That was a cascade from centralized risks. Decentralization spreads that risk, making the system anti-fragile, stronger from stress, as some thinkers put it. I also appreciate how this ties into personal responsibility. When you hold your own keys, literally in Bitcoin's case, you're in charge. No bank can freeze your account because of some policy change. That empowers you to think carefully about security, backups, and decisions. It's a quiet reminder that what freedom comes with accountability, which resonates in so many areas of life. Looking ahead, as policies nurture the space, we could see Bitcoin and its kin integrate into everyday tools. Wallets on your phone, seamless payments at coffee shops, even linking to smart contracts that automate agreements without lawyers. It's about building a more equitable playing field, where innovation isn't stifled by monopolies. Corporations will still play a role, but on a foundation that's open, not proprietary. Ultimately, it's about preserving the beauty of human effort in a connected world. Your work, your creativity, turned into value that's yours to command. In a universe full of wonders, from stars to subatomic particles, creating systems like this feels like tapping into that grand design, enduring, open, and full of potential. Well, folks, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe. I hope to see you next time.